Bradley Whitlock sat alone in his dark office long after everyone had gone home. The hospital corridors outside were silent. For the first time in years, Bradley felt something he had never allowed himself to feel before. Fear. Every report Mia had revealed in the boardroom was spreading through the hospital like wildfire. Staff were whispering. Department heads were suddenly avoiding him. His phone buzzed on the desk. A message from Catherine. Bradley, people are saying the audit has already started. Bradley clenched his jaw.
She wouldn't destroy
No,
everything.
he muttered to himself.
Fine, Mia.
This is not over.
If you want a war,
His eyes
I'll show you
hardened.
exactly what I'm capable
If
of.
Mia thinks she can destroy me, she has no idea what I'm capable of. Inside her private office, Mia Gerber stood beside the wide glass window overlooking the city. Her assistant placed a folder on the desk. The internal audit team has started reviewing everything connected to Dr. Whitlock, the assistant said. Mia nodded calmly. Good. She flipped through the documents, every contract, every suspicious payment, every falsified record. Bradley had spent years building his hidden empire inside the hospital, but Mia had already mapped every weak point. Her assistant hesitated. Do you think he will try something? Mia's expression remained calm. He already has, she said quietly. Then she added coldly, that's why security has been doubled. Later that night, Bradley met a man in the underground parking garage. The man wore a black jacket and spoke in a low voice. You said you needed something handled. Bradley's eyes were cold. I want Mia Gerber scared, he said. How scared? Bradley paused. Then he answered slowly. Enough to make her disappear from this hospital. The man studied him carefully. You understand what you're asking. Bradley's voice dropped to a whisper. She ruined my life. Now it's her turn. The next evening, Mia exited the hospital through a quiet side entrance. 2 security guards walked several steps behind her. Suddenly, a black van sped toward the curb. The door slid open. 2 men jumped out. But before they could reach Mia, security officers rushed forward. Stop! Within seconds, the men were pinned to the ground. Police sirens echoed in the distance. Mia stood completely still, calm, unshaken. Her head tilted slightly. Bradley, she whispered, you really thought I wouldn't see this coming. The next morning, the hospital lobby was filled with reporters. Police officers walked through the entrance, straight toward Bradley Whitlock. What is this? Bradley demanded. An officer placed handcuffs around his wrists. Dr. Bradley Whitlock, you are under investigation for financial fraud, conspiracy, and attempted kidnapping. Gasps filled the room. Board members stared in shock. Across the lobby, Mia stood silently. Their eyes met. Bradley's voice trembled with rage. You planned this! Mia walked closer. No, Bradley, she said quietly. You planned this. I simply finished it. Weeks later, the investigation results were made public. Millions of dollars had been hidden through illegal contracts. Several department budgets had been manipulated for personal gain. The hospital board officially removed Bradley from all medical authority. His reputation was destroyed overnight. As he was escorted out of the building one final time, he saw Mia standing at the entrance. Calm, powerful, untouchable. Bradley stopped walking. You win, he said bitterly. Mia looked at him with quiet strength. This was never about winning. Her eyes hardened. It was about justice. That evening, Mia stood alone in the boardroom, the same room where Bradley once controlled everything. Now, the chair at the head of the table belonged to her. Her assistant entered quietly. "The board has approved all your reforms," she said. Mia nodded slowly. Outside the windows, the city lights shimmered. 3 years ago, she had been abandoned, humiliated, powerless. But now, everything had changed, and the war that once defined her life was finally over. Days turned into weeks. Joshua and Mia spent hours together in meetings, hospital inspections, and strategic discussions. One evening, a minor crisis erupted in the hospital. A critical patient needed immediate attention. Without thinking, Joshua watched Mia act decisively, coordinating staff and calming panic with ease. He found himself quietly admiring her. "You handled that beautifully," he said after the chaos settled. Mia glanced at him, eyes meeting his briefly. "Someone has to keep things from falling apart," she replied, voice soft but unwavering. It was the first real moment where admiration quietly turned into respect. And something more. One rainy night, they were stuck in the hospital together after a storm flooded the streets. Joshua offered Mia his coat, a small gesture that made her smile. "Thank you," she said softly. They shared a quiet moment by the window, listening to the rain patter against the glass. Joshua realized he was no longer just watching her. He was feeling something he hadn't expected. Warmth. Mia felt it too. The subtle comfort of his presence, the gentle understanding behind his stoic expression. For a moment, the world outside didn't exist. Tensions arose one evening over a hospital decision. Joshua disagreed with Mia's plan, frustration flashing in his eyes. "You can't always control everything," he said, voice tight. Mia's eyes blazed. "And you think I want to? I just want things to work. People's lives depend on it." They stared at each other, breathing heavy, emotions raw. Then, silence. It wasn't anger anymore. It was honesty, vulnerability. Joshua realized her passion was not arrogance. It was care. Mia realized Joshua wasn't cold. He simply needed to be understood. And in that silence, something shifted. Weeks later, Joshua found Mia working late in her office. He brought her coffee silently, placing it on the desk. "I thought you could use this," he said softly. Mia looked up, surprised, then smiled genuinely for the first time at him. "Thank you. I didn't expect anyone to notice." Joshua leaned against the doorframe, watching her work with admiration. "You're incredible," he said quietly. Mia paused, heart fluttering slightly. "Maybe. You're not so bad yourself." It was a small, playful exchange, but it changed the atmosphere between them. The walls they'd built around themselves were beginning to crumble. One night, after a long day, they stayed late reviewing hospital reports. Joshua noticed Mia's hands were trembling slightly from fatigue. "Sit down for a moment," he suggested gently. Mia hesitated, then did as he asked. "I never expected someone like you," she said quietly, voice low. "Strong, determined, and yet capable of kindness." Joshua met her gaze. "And I never expected someone like you to be so fearless, even after everything." For the first time, they shared not just space, but their hearts. The business marriage was slowly becoming something personal, intimate, and real. Over the following months, their interactions became warmer, gentler. Joshua began to anticipate Mia's needs without her saying a word. Mia began to laugh more around him, teasing him softly. feeling a spark of joy she hadn't felt in years. One evening, as they walked together through the hospital garden, their hands brushed. Neither pulled away. Joshua stopped and looked into her eyes. "I care about you, Mia. More than I should." Mia's heart skipped a beat. "I care about you too, Joshua. More than I thought possible." In that moment, the contract didn't matter. Business didn't matter. Only they mattered. After months of growing affection, they finally addressed the marriage contract. Mia called a private meeting with her father and Joshua. "This contract has served its purpose," she said. "It brought us together, but it no longer defines us." Joshua took her hand, firm and confident. "We don't need a contract to be together anymore. I want to choose you, freely." Her father smiled faintly, seeing the genuine love in their eyes. "Then it's settled," he said. "Love, not obligation, is what truly matters." Under the soft glow of the evening lights in the hospital garden, Joshua leaned closer. Mia's breath caught as he whispered, "I love you, Mia. Not
I
because
love
of
you, Mia.
business, not because of strategy,
I love you too,
but
babe.
because of you." Mia closed her eyes as their lips met for the first time in true love, tender, passionate, and full of all the emotion they had suppressed for so long. The cold business marriage melted away. All that remained was real love,
I'm glad I
pure,
found you.
unbreakable.